Alright, so today's going to be kind of an interesting video. We're actually going to be watching a video called 5 Pastors versus 2 Secret Atheists. Odd one out. And I guess they're going to have to guess the 2 secret atheists or whatever. So this is going to be kind of like just a fun video just to watch and, you know, that type of stuff. So here we go. We're going to get into it. It's only 13 minutes long. Hopefully I don't make it too long. But if you guys really enjoy this video, please hit the like button, subscribe for more. And yeah, follow my social media.
I'm a pastor.
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 2 of them are liars.
So what about an introduction to start things off? My name is Jay. I'm an Episcopal priest.
I'm Don, pastor, non-denominational.
Dominic, Lutheran pastor.
Paul, youth pastor, SPC.
Paul wore a whole suit, and I was like, oh, maybe he's overcompensating. Like, I don't know what a pastor would wear on a Saturday. Maybe it's this suit.
So I'm Zach, former Calvary Chapel pastor, and now like fully Calvary guy.
Whoa! Yes.
Yeah, hence the
Him.
tattoos and stuff.
My strategy
I'm kidding, I don't know.
is going to be this idea of like really trying to just hear the heart behind like why people are pastoring.
I mean, I have a question like education. So
Sure.
seminary, maybe degrees. I don't know.
Seminary, theological studies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where at?
King's College as well as Oxford University.
Yeah. Was that like an MA or was it a?
There's a Christian university.
me in.
Really good.
Absolutely true.
No, your turn. Your
Oh,
turn.
my turn.
Your turn. Yeah, man.
So
Give it to him.
So I'm in an MA program at Western Seminary currently.
I went to Calvary Chapel Bible
Come
College.
on, dude. Yeah.
And then did the Veritas program, so a degree in theology with a focus in biblical studies.
Oh, sweet.
Actually, not really a formal institution, but I grew up in such a rural area. There was just nothing for so far. So almost more like an
She's an
apprenticeship
atheist.
kind of context. Tiny town with tinier towns around it, so we all would kind of come to the same Lutheran church primarily when I was studying.
What kind of Lutheran church?
Again, such a small area that just Luther. There's so few people together.
Generic brand.
Yes, generic, run-of-the-mill Lutherans.
I like that.
Immediately.
First of all, it's
I thought if
unbiblical to have a woman
pastor,
pastor.
She would definitely say which
Don't get mad, but
I don't think I really became a believer until I was 30, to be perfectly honest. I did it because I was brought up, and this is what you're supposed to do. You do what they do, and what they say, and you believe, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, and then I got kicked out.
Anna. Yeah, it's
What I
Anna.
knew about Lutherans, there should have been a very specific answer to that question, and that kind of threw me off.
Yeah.
Done.
Of course, the woman's not bad.
So, that's.
Check your bias. Bye. Being the only
First of
woman
all-
in the group today was a little tricky. Obviously, not being able to always edge my way into the conversation was not able to present it in the way that I would have liked and that I thought would have been more effective.
I walked in.
First of all,
and
she's
I was
not-
so happy that there was a
that's-
female pastor because they're the only types of people that are as rare as gay pastors, like myself. It's
What?
very much.
Why is this?
new
Okay.
versus-
First of all, Jubilee always has to do that. Always has to do that. So there has to be something that's like when you watch like atheistic videos in Jubilee or like other videos besides like Christian, it's just whatever, okay? But when it comes to Christianity, they always throw something that's like severely unbiblical. So you got a queer pastor, which I'm not even gonna go there. And then you got a woman pastor, which that's unbiblical. I don't understand. There's certain circumstances where if there is nobody out of the whole town and city that is a pastor or whatever the area, and the woman has the only knowledge of the Bible and the gospel, then I do believe there's exceptions. But once there is a man that comes around and has more knowledge or equal knowledge of the gospels and is a pastor, then she has to submit to him as the head of the church. That's really the only time that I would think there's an exception to women being pastors, because there's an example of that in scripture that talks about like there's a woman sort of a pastor. But let's continue.
Queer pastors and queer worship leaders and queer Christians. Tell me, you got kicked out for why?
I got kicked out. Well, I got kicked out because I was in the church, and as I grew older in the church, I began to ask questions that to me were very obvious.
What was one of those questions?
Is baptism essential for salvation? You know, communion, some of those, battleground questions that oftentimes separate, faith and denominations. Yeah.
I pastored high school kids for years, and I never had any of them asking me that question.
I want to know what everybody.
How? I've had those questions asked a lot of times. So it's either you're in an area or a church that's really, really sharing the gospel and preaching what baptism is and communion is, and you just really give them the ground, the truth, the beef of the Bible. Or you live in an area where that stuff is not really talked about, that there's still questions that get risen.
Ministry responsibilities are and what you're currently teaching through.
Yeah, so I'm an assistant teaching pastor, and so we're.
I don't want to be homophobic, but I think it's the queer.
Teaching pastor.
I serve at a small Korean church in La Mirada, California, and I take care of the youth ministry.
So I'm kind of semi-retired. I also don't have a congregation, although I work with one. It's a little Episcopal church in San Clemente. I also have a weird job that I'm chaplain to a governmental agency.
I don't pastor a church. I pastor pastors. So I work for a denomination, and I preach at different congregations every week.
I'm not in the pulpit right now, but I am teaching in small groups, conversations. There's a lot of dogmatic positions that are just generalized for Christendom.
So I have a question. I mean, when was the last time you were in a hospital room with somebody, and what comfort did you give them in a time that was critical?
Oh, I hate this question.
I felt a question that would get at that about how somebody gives the comfort and the peace of the presence of God would really indicate whether or not they were a pastor and they were involved in that type of ministry.
Last time I was in the hospital was not too long ago. It was, I'd actually become almost a medical proxy for a family friend's mother. She was elderly and just kind of going through, and it was very, very tender for me. But the comfort that I gave was in knowing that her family was nearby, and knowing that beyond this moment, when she stepped out of time into eternity, she would be in the place she longed to be.
The thing that I thought I spotted was that he was just trying too hard.
How?
The way that he was answering the questions was very old school.
What's so bad about old school?
Do y'all know Jesus?
Sorry. Sorry, dude.
I see what's happening. First the woman, then the black man, the gay is next. I see what's happening.
What the devil? Me? I question everybody else left up there. Do they know Jesus? I know him.
If you think the mole is still in the box and you want to continue playing the game,
yeah,
please raise your hand.
You still in?
So let's start with the question of what does atheism mean to you?
I talk to my kids a lot about agnosticism, more than I talk about atheism, just because of the oversimplification of as an atheist, I don't believe in God. Well, it's well, what is God?
I go back to what Augustine the Hippo said, right? All hearts are restless until they find rest in God. An atheist is not the enemy. It's not just because you don't believe in the God that I love and serve. Doesn't mean you're the enemy. It means that you're restless in your heart and you're trying to search for meaning and belonging in anything other than God.
I'd be curious to know if anybody on the stage that did not have a real serious questioning time.
I think we all do. I think we all do. I don't think there's okay, so I don't think there's a moment of where a Christian doesn't struggle or question stuff about his faith. Not if they're saved or not. Just really, really little topics of you doing enough? Am I devoting my life? Am I devoting enough time to Christ? Little stuff like that to me bothers me because I get so caught up trying to go in video games and talk to people or just talking to friends or watching YouTube videos. Then I realize, oh man, I just spent a lot of time not reading the Bible. There's a lot of things that I question. It's just oh my goodness, am I doing enough? But stuff that's me. I don't know about everybody else. Let's continue.
Faith, once I had an experience and encounter with God out of drug addiction, my faith was pretty solid. But with the calling, I think I wrestled.
Seems like more of a Jehovah's Witness.
In high school, my parents decided to split, and that's when I really went on a frenzy with drug addiction. I struggled with crystal meth, from my junior year. I think that's what really put me to the pit of my life, the most rock bottom of my life.
I have a lot more openness to the on-mill position than I did. Growing up, Calvary Chapel was hyper-dispensational.
I'm
hyper-dispensational pre-mill,
because of the sensationalism.
Because of your background.
It's him. He's trying to relate too much with that one guy, where it's but he's trying to relate too much with that one guy, trying to make it look he knows this stuff really, really well. And he's going yeah, man, oh my gosh. I think it's him. Not because he's he's queer, but no, he doesn't really even have an answer really to anything. It's more agreeing.
I won't lie to you, Jay looked super familiar, and I was banking on him being a paid actor that I had seen in something before.
There was a tie. The tie is between Jay and Daniel. I will give you each on the clock 30 seconds to state your case.
You know,
It's
I don't know
Daniel.
what to say except that I think I should have not voted for the redo.
I am a pastor. Please don't vote me out. It's as simple as that. I know that I've been ordained for a bit, and I'm in this like new congregation I'm really excited about. And the reason that I actually came was because I heard that there was some cash, and I was like, I really want to take the kids on like a cool trip, and so I really want to like split some of this cash for the kids in the youth group. So that's why I'm here. And I
Daniel.
voted out. Also,
It's Daniel.
I'll be homophobic in June.
I was a youth pastor, man. Like, we had budgets for that kind of stuff. Like, I didn't used to use my own personal money.
Daniel. Yeah.
I told you.
Wow.
Called it.
Jeez, dude,
If
that
the
beep is so
lights turn green,
so loud.
That means the mole is out and you win.
But it says two
If the lights
atheists. That
turn
means
red, that means the mole is still in the box and you lose. 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Nice. Good job, guys.
Can the moles please reveal themselves?
Ah, yes. I knew it. It was just the obvious. Like, what in the world are those two people doing there? You know what I mean? It's okay. Jeez. It was the queer and the woman. She had no idea what she was talking about, and it was like she was making up a story. And then Daniel, oh jeez, yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, my apologies, man.
Absolutely.
My apologies.
Absolutely.
And Calvary Chapel, all of
I like how everybody's like dressed finely, and then here I am. I have like ripped shirts, and all my t-shirts are like ripped and stained, and that's what I wear. I'll wear this to church. I'll wear this anywhere I go. You know, I like the way I look. I like the way I do things. This is how I'm gonna be. That's kind of what goes through my mind. If you can't accept it, then that's your problem. You know, I'm not doing anything against you. You know, that's just my style. I love it. They're just well dressed.
So I have actually worked in the church for about 8 years total as a pianist and organist, on and off. So I had a lot to draw from.
Here's what got me. As a Lutheran,
I know what
there
it
are
is.
no general Lutherans.
Yes. Yes. That got me.
Well, no, that really is the thing, though. Is I'm from such a loosely populated area that really is the case. Is there's so little that even brings people together. There's a lot of churches that are people who are strongly Catholic, strongly Lutheran, that will all be in the same place because like a whole town will be like a gas station, a corner store, and 10 houses.
So we are very much in a turning point in the community when it comes to queer individuals in Christianity. Even though I do not subscribe to Christianity, it's great to see at least a portion.
See, right now he's like, see, this is the problem with that whole idea. Oh yeah, I'm happy to see this stuff being more accepted into Christianity. See, as the atheists, they always complain about how the scriptures are perverted, are twisted, and don't mean what they used to mean, and blah, 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 definitions changing, blah, 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 this and that. They are literally admitting that they are happy that they are the ones that are causing it. That it's so mind-blowing that they don't realize that the reason why, like, everything's just going crazy. Like, things get taken out of context. The scriptures get twisted. They are the reason. They are literally the reason to why we have to deal with that problem. The Bible doesn't mean the same thing as it did back then. Yeah, you would think that because he's literally the one that's doing it. Let's twist scripture so I'm accepted. Let's twist scripture so I don't have to repent for my sins. What can we do? I don't like that verse. Let's get that word out of here and get that word out of here. You know what? That whole verse right there, that verse 4, get that out of here. You know, the Queen James Bible, that's it right there. Let's take that Bible, the Queen James Bible, and make it just for homosexuals. Yeah, okay, yeah. And then they complain that the Bible can't be, it's ridiculous.
Of this community that has such a large history of having a negative agenda towards us as a community, opening up their eyes, admitting their wrongs, apologizing and seeking reconciliation. And I think that it can only, you know, get better so long as they continue to move on that track.
Well, that was it. Thank you guys for watching, and comment down below what you guys thought about the video. I know it was kind of long. You know what? Just I don't know what to say. Deal with it, I guess. It's just a fun video. Jubilee, they always do this, and I think sometimes in some of their episodes they're very obvious. But if there's another video like this that you guys want me to watch and react to and just give my input, go right ahead, comment down below. Visit my website. I plan on uploading some way more stuff. I've been just kind of like out of track, out of mind, just all over the place right now, and I really need to get back on track. I need to go back to my calendar and be like, okay, this is what I'm doing, and I need to stick to it. But yeah, more pages are coming up, more topics, more questions are going to be answered. So if you guys have questions, comment down below, and I'll make a page for it. I'll write it down on a piece of paper. I actually got a notepad specifically for this, actually. This little notepad, I'm going to start writing down the questions and all the type of topics to write about and make pages for. And again, I want to make this very clear. I'm doing this website because I want to be able to give you guys what you need in order to stand firm in the faith. That's it. Science and biblical, archaeology, biology, and just evidence of the scriptures and what it means and what the symbol, like the symbolic meaning behind all of it. You know, I want to give it to you for free. That's what I want to do. I know organizations they have you pay, especially like Christian.com. If you go on that website, it's like you get on there for like 5 seconds and then it goes like, hey, become a member, and you can't view the website anymore. So, and I think that pushes away people. I'll be honest. I go on websites, Christian websites, and I'm looking up questions that are like really important. I think are like fundamental. And you have to pay a subscription in order to see the answer. So it's like, oh yeah, okay. So if an unbeliever, atheist, or Buddhist, or Satanist goes on the website, and that's like the one question they deal with, and you make them pay, they're not going to do it. You're kind of just pushing people away. Because I guarantee you, these people that have these websites, if every single one of them put in like $1, like the staff and everything, put in $1 or $2 every month or every couple weeks, it would be completely fine and they wouldn't have to ask for money. Okay, I would. It's stupid. Like, they can find a different way. Stop blocking the answers of really good questions just for money. It's stupid. Pushes people away. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna give you guys the information for free. Timelines. I want to do it. So I'm rambling off now. So have a nice day, evening, or night.